What is going on, guys? It is your boy TKD123 here, back in here on PlayStation Source. This is, of course, Save Slot Podcast, episode 24, the weekly news show about any and all things PS5, PlayStation games, and PlayStation. It's with me, of course, not the luxurious co-host, the Arachknight. We have I should think of a. I don't have a tagline. I don't have a tagline. How about Trophy Room Zone? You know,
that makes sense.
I guess that would work. You know,
yeah.
Trophy Room Zone. Mr. Badbit, how are you doing, good sir?
Dude, I'm doing fantastic. I want to thank you in advance for being so patient with me today, as I had some, we could say, real life technical difficulties. So I'm happy to be here. And I know one of the things we're going to be talking about, I'm very excited to talk about. Very excited to talk about. Vita lifts in spirit.
Wait, which one is it?
The Steam handheld. You know?
Actually, you know, that's not on the show notes, but let's just bring it here. Why not? You know,
yes, please.
Why not? You know what I'm saying? Let's just start right here.
Yeah.
Why not? You know, I'm intrigued by the Steam Deck, to say the least, right? And, you know, I didn't think about the PlayStation games on Steam. That I'm like, oh shit, wait a minute, like this is how you would do it. But what are your thoughts on the old Steam Deck?
Dude, I love it so much. And like, yeah, it took a minute for me to do the math equation in my head, go, wait a second, PlayStation putting more games on Steam Deck. Okay, I can play Steam games on this thing. Oh my God. And then it occurred to me even more. People are like, you could put Game Pass on this. So theoretically, technically, in the broadest sense, there is a console out called the Steam Deck that could play PC games, because it's a PC, I get it, but also plays Xbox and PlayStation games. That is amazing. So,
and I mean, if you want to go even more down the rabbit hole, right? It does act like a PC, right? In terms of you can plug into a monitor. So couldn't you inherently, you know, not by the most legal means necessary, right?
I see where you go.
Put some Nintendo games on that, right?
Exactly.
Like you could have the ultimate console.
Yeah. And so
it's kind of crazy.
Dude, I believe in this tech immediately. I'm an early adopter. I fought the pre-order system. I got my hands on the 250 or 15 gig version, and I'm on board, because like, if you're telling me I could play Ghost of Tsushima on the go, I'm there. Telling me I could play Bloodborne on the go, theoretically, I'm there. I mean, not even theoretically. Oh shit. Pull up for a sec. PlayStation Now on PC. So absolutely we can do this. Oh my God.
Indeed.
Kev, the limits.
You're all set.
None.
You're all set.
Oh my God.
I have not thought. I mean, I was thinking, like, for me specifically, for like Game Pass, right? Because there's going to be a day when Doom 3 gets announced, when Wolfenstein 3 gets announced, and I got to really figure it out. Indiana Jones. You know what I'm saying? I got to figure it out at that point. You know, the jig is up. You know, there's no more waiting. It is what it is.
Yeah.
So it's either get a PC or potentially get this, which I'm not sure which way I'm going to go, you know, because I don't love the way the thumbsticks are looking in relation to like where the face buttons are and the D-pad's at on this particular device.
Not a fan of the D-pad, I'm going to be honest. From what I've heard, it looks weird, but it is very comfortable. So I'm right there with you. I'm not looking for like a one-to-one parity between how I'm playing at home or playing on the go, right? So as long as I have the opportunity to play unmitigated games, or uncompromised visions of games, I'm all for it. Even if the controls are not what I prefer, which would be like my DualSense controller, you know?
Right. I'm going to be looking to you, good sir, as a parameter of, you know, the quality of this device, you know what I'm saying? And we're gonna go from there. You know, maybe I'll pick it up. I'm not sure. I'm kind of hoping that, you know, I know this is a PlayStation show, of course, but you know, if Microsoft puts out a Roku Game Pass app or a Samsung TV Game Pass app, you know, that's what I'm kind of waiting for in the immediate future, you know. As a Mac editor, right? I don't have access to Game Pass right now. So we'll see. I'll figure it out. But there's no way I'm missing Doom 3, Wolfenstein 3, Indiana Jones. There's no shot. No shot I'm missing those. No shot I'm missing
Absolutely.
those. But housekeeping here, of course, catch the show here on YouTube.com/PlayStation Source, as well as podcast services like Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, etc. via our anchor link down below in the description. Like the video and or rate the podcast. Help us get even more viewers so we can grow the PSS family. Down below as well, let you know what you like or dislike about the show, and connect with us further on Twitter and Discord in the description, as well as Trophy Room will be in the description as well, and Mr. Babbitt's Twitter, all that great stuff down there as well. If you're feeling generous, hit that join button, become a member of the channel with the $1 Prince tier, just like the People Musa and Gameplay Sir, and our $5 King tier members, just like Caleb Kaiser, Arachknight, Sackboy, Sean, City of Vet Gaming, and the homie Owen. Check out the stream series as well throughout the week. We beat Metal Gear Solid 5. It was the longest stream series we've ever done, from both episodes and hours played. I have thoughts on that. But before we get to that, of course, review us on podcast services once again, all that great stuff. In case you missed it on the channel real quick, Death Stranding Director's Cut PS5 Explained. You can check out that breakdown. And Arcadegeddon, which we'll talk about a little bit later as well. Did an early access review on that game as well. I have some thoughts on that. And of course, we finished MGS5 Stream Series Finale. I do want to bring up one thing that is no longer on the channel, but it was a call to action, to get those that feel that my PlayStation coverage and content are, great or good, or however you want to say it, and to recommend me for a video team position over at Push Square. I unfortunately did not get that. So just wanted to say thank you for all that. Definitely supported me in that endeavor. You know what I'm saying? A lot more people came to support that in the comment section than I ever anticipated, and some people were not happy about that.
What?
So yeah, I don't want to get you, but there was
after the show. Who do I have to fight? I'll fight them.
Oof, they're in high places, if you will. They're in high places, but it's all good.
I'll reach for the stars, man. Listen, real talk. Michael Scott once said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Wayne Jetski," right? Or
Absolutely.
And listen, man, you put yourself out there. That is the hardest thing anyone can do. Anyone. Like, I get that all the time. I'm like, who am I? And just by you putting yourself out there, even though you didn't get the position, just knowing how many people, were by your side as you climb. Like, that is the most humbling thing ever, man.
Yeah.
So
I mean, this isn't the first rejection I've ever gotten, right? Not the last, right? Forever, right? But this one hurt in a very specific way, right? But it's a bit of like a bittersweet dilemma, right? Where it's like, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, this year I was like, Kev, if there's any opportunity like that, don't pass it up.
Yeah.
Don't let it go by the wayside, and it was the most Kevin thing I've ever done, like, on the channel. I feel like I feel like that's the most Kevin ass thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
And it is what it is.
And I think it paid off in its own way, man. Like, I really, like, when you're like, hey man, look, like, I'm applying for this thing, I was like, do it now. Listen, Push Square, you made a huge mistake, because listen, this show, Kev, he's the next Push Square. All right, we're gonna do it. We're gonna make this show the most popular PlayStation entity on the internet. How about that?
Listen, it's us Latinos in the PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? Yo, we out here. We out here. But I just want to say thanks. All that great stuff. Y'all are the shit. Appreciate all you all. Absolutely. But I have been talking for too long. Yeah. What have you been playing, Mr. Badbit? What's been on your PS5?
Oh my god, dude. I've been playing Chicory on the PlayStation 5, and I want to give a huge shout out to this game. Small little indie darling. From what my co-host Kyle has told me, and it shouldn't have surprised me because the music's so amazing, but the same composer of Chicory did Celeste, and this game is just so fun. It's so whimsical. It's a coloring book type game married with how the old Zeldas of prior, the 2D Zeldas used to play like. So that type of exploration. There's no combat in the game. Instead, you're solving puzzles by painting the world and traversing it that way. So like there'll be obstacles that'll only appear if you paint them, or they'll only appear if you erase certain colors in the world. And that's how you traverse through. And there's boss fights where you're just coloring in specific patterns to beat the boss, or like drawing an object to get you through to the next, stage of the game. It's a really, really great little indie. It's a special little game. I highly recommend it. It is cute. It is whimsical. The most adorable thing in this game is how you choose your name. They ask you in the very beginning of the game, what is your favorite food? And I wanted to say smoked Tabasco sauce, because Tabasco, God bless, but I couldn't fit that in. I made the mistake. I chose burrito, because I'm like, okay, that's what I like to put the Tabasco sauce on. And and I should have just went Tabasco, but that's, point aside, that's your name. It's your favorite food. So like everybody in the world, everybody's name is like burrito, taco, pizza. Like it's really cute, dude. It's a really fun game. And the one thing that I want to say is it tackles a lot of things like believing in yourself, imposter syndrome. It's written insanely well, just like you expect all these top-notch indies to really do. They all have this sense of personality that bleeds through them that these AAA games don't really have. So I've been playing a lot of Chicory, and it's something else. I definitely recommend it. I think it's like $20 on PSN. Check that game out, man.
Interesting. Yeah, I've heard Janet talk about it a lot. Janet Garcia, of course. And I feel like on paper I should check this out. You know what? I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, check it out.
I'm gonna check it out. My name would be Steak, I think. I don't know if I can fit like arroz con gandules. I don't know if I could fit that in there, but we'll do Steak. Steak is a good one. Steak is high up there for sure.
Unfortunately, on the keyboard there's no Enya, so yeah, no, it's not gonna work.
Oh, there's no. Oh man, you hate to see it. Yeah, I hate to see it. But you've been playing anything else besides that this week?
Well, I've been playing not so. Listen, I get it. I'm a PlayStation guy, but we always say here on the trophy room, we love all the things. Okay, been playing a lot of Halo 5. Getting ready for Infinite.
There we go. Yes,
I'm
sir.
owning all these Xbox fools. They say that PlayStation people, they can't play multiplayer. But here I am, top of the leaderboard, consistent, round after round, match after match. You can't beat me. I'm just that good. All right? So anybody who wants to 1v1 on Scott, or SWAT rather, Scott, try your best. If you want to try to get me in the war zone, best not miss. All right? Because I'm hitting every shot consistently.
Not miss.
Exactly.
Yeah, my co-host on Joy Kicks Games Cast, Christian Buckley, is going through the Halo series for the first time.
Oh wow!
So he just got through one, definitely enjoying it. Would it shock you that I've never played a Halo?
No, would it, man? A lot of PlayStation like Kyle, we're going to run Kyle through Halo for the first time ever, and I'm like, I can't wait to be his chaperone through the universe that is Halo. Because if you love like classic Alien, man, the Bungie Halos are something else. So yeah,
I feel that. I feel that.
You're welcome to join us as well, Kev.
Eventually, I mean, I have no hardware to do it on currently, but
you're right. You're
eventually
I'll PC. I get it.
Yeah. Like eventually, I will get to that series. Like I know that's a big blind spot in gaming. One of the bigger ones, honestly, that I have that I definitely need to fill and get acclimated with. The only thing that I do really like about Halo was that when Halo 5 came out, I don't know why, I watched a lot of my favorite creators play Halo 5. I was watching a lot of that, and I found it very entertaining.
Yeah, I was like, because at that point you're like, okay, maybe I'll try this out, and you're just like, this looks great, but
I mean, I just Halo 5 was what, 2015?
Yeah.
Right? I was still living at my parents' house. I was in high school. I was a junior.
Okay.
In college? Yeah, just had my first job. Damn. Time flies.
Too fast, man. It needs to slow down a little bit.
Too fast. But other than Halo, Anything else you got going on? That's about it.
Nothing up much for me here, man. We've been busy trying to upgrade the trophy room, so it's
yes, sir.
Whew, we've been busy, man. How about you, man? What have you been playing?
Let's just get to the chat. Metal Gear Solid 5. All right. Yeah. We do the stream series on the channel. You know what I'm saying? We run through whole games, streaming 100% of it, right? We won't, you know, like I said before, longest stream series, both in episodes and hours played, 10 episodes. I think the average is like 4 hours, to be honest with you.
Ooh.
They're up.
Oh,
yeah,
damn, right.
we were going because
you were going deep,
we are. Yeah, because on the Joy Clicks we're doing Long Play Club, where we're podcasting about every, you know, game in the franchise for good old Metal Gear. So I wanted to beat it in like somewhat of a brisk pace, right? So that's why I kind of extended the usual times I stream. But yeah, I have so many weird thoughts about this game. Like, I'd say the 80% before you get to the final, to the first ending, right? What I want to call the like BS fake ending, whatever, that one.
Yeah.
Is legitimately like 10 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
Like I was adoring MGS5. I feel that first ending, like I sensed something was up, right?
Okay.
And I heard about the Kojima Konami beef. I did not realize that it affected the game itself.
Same.
I was unaware of that.
Yeah.
I was unaware of that. I just know that there was beef, whatever. But it is very clear after like a certain mission when you're just like, oh yeah, we're like going down this trail, we're like, you know, picking up leads on people, we're doing these cool missions, whatever. We have Quiet, we don't know, you know, who she is. We have Eli as well. Like we're getting these cool code talker and all that. And then there hits a point where it's like, okay, we're just gonna deal with Skullface and we're done. It's like what? And then we have a weird like chapter 2 portion of the game, right? That I started to actually like. You know, we started to deal with things with you know, Eli and Huey as well. Quiet got her own ending and stuff like that, which I feel like wasn't like the most satisfying ending, but still. But I beat the true ending last night. And wow.
I was gonna say, you look haunted.
Yeah, it's like one of those it's reminding me of another game's ending that I'm forgetting off the top of my head. Oh, honestly, it's very Metal Gear Solid 2-esque type of ending. Okay. Where you really gotta sit with it for a little bit. You know, maybe not as intensely as MGS2, because that one's more of just a very like, you know, like philosophical, like talking about society in a way type of thing. But this was just like, okay, so it's crazy how like the whole game you're not really playing as the real big boss. And I was thinking about this too last night, where it's like, I think it's pretty bold of Kojima to be like, yeah, now, right, the first big boss in the Metal Gear franchise as a whole is the fake one, and the second one is the real one. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just found that like a super like unorthodox thing to do. I feel like a lot of creators would not do that. I feel like you know, like you're gonna want to make like, you know, the quote unquote like villain in like your first game, right? You know, or like just looking at this one specifically, right? Like you would assume that the real big boss would have been in the first game, like the one that's gonna have the most you know, like fan service, if you will, and stuff like that, and just like the, you know, it's the first Metal Gear, right? So I just found it really compelling that he made like, nah, like that one's a fake, you know. That was you.
As someone who is totally outside Metal Gear, like I respect it as a series. I've been told all the things, and I'm just like, this.
Oh, you've never? Okay, I thought you'd play. Okay, I just
get the gist of all of it. Man, I don't care. Listen.
Oh shit.
I don't care. You can tell me anything, and I'm just like, okay, unfazed. I don't believe in spoilers. I believe knowing, because like in any movie, you know the outcome. Like you watch Avengers Endgame, you know exactly the outcome that's going to happen in Endgame, and when that happens, it only changes it doesn't change the expectation. It just kind of changes the way you look at that thing, right? So like shock value is awesome in the moment, but I really come at it through like, yeah, you could tell me anything beat for beat, and it actually interests me of how we get to that point. So like for me with Metal Gear, I know all the themes that y'all are that Kojima's hitting on, and when it comes to Konami and the beef there, do you even feel like with the true ending, that there was some Konami interference there? Because that's what everybody says, dude. Like, they're just like, this game's great until like the end portion, and the end portion you just have to understand as a fan that he didn't get to finish his quote unquote vision, that Konami interfered.
Yeah, there's I mean, to go off that, like, I mean, I'd say the true ending, as I was watching it, honestly, it feels very Kojima.
Okay.
Right? Like, at least in terms of, like, what it's trying to tell you and what it's trying to project, which is truth. I mean, like, which is true for the story itself. Like, I don't know. I didn't find it that crazy, the true ending, in terms of, like, it feeling, with it, like, feeling like Konami and not Kojima. I felt that way about the first ending, absolutely. That was Konami, that was not Kojima. And to also say, on stream we watched one of the unfinished last missions. It was episode 51, called The Kingdom of the Flies. That was supposed to be in the game, but because of the beef, Konami just didn't let Kojima finish it, right? So there's like cutscenes of it that are like 30% done that were released, I think, on like some like Blu-ray set or whatever. And that stuff is like, dude, you gotta let Kojima finish this.
Yeah.
Like, that was some like important stuff dealing with Eli that, like, I don't think, I mean, like, it's said in the game, but it's not like said. You know what I'm saying? In like a real way that, like, it would have been amazing to have that section, but oh man. Yeah. But overall, I mean, I'd say I'm still very, very high on MGS5. It now makes it, like, before the first ending, I would have said this is definitely far and away my favorite Metal Gear. Okay. And I think it is still. Yeah, like I think it still is. Before MGS5, I was really high on 4. I was really high on 1. 1 took me a long time to really like appreciate and like, but I ended up liking that. Metal Gear Solid 3 is the worst one ever. No, and it's weird because that's a fan favorite. I just don't get that. But
that's Eater, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah. Oh, Peace Walker is really elite too. So I'm gonna have a hard time ranking it on the channel, but MGS5 is very high. It is a very, 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 very good game. Yes,
that's awesome. I'm glad you. I appreciate what you do because when we had you on the show, you're like, I'm a Final Fantasy VII stan, and I started playing last year. Like, what? Yeah. and you're like, I beat all these games in the span of a year. This game's incredible, and it's the spirit of video games, and anything that you love is you know, I'm a big Star Wars fan. I understand that my community is trash as a Star Wars fan. It's always like, you're not a real fan if you like the prequels or you like the sequel trilogy, or, you know, only OG here. But to me, it doesn't matter when you were a fan of a thing. If you consider you're a fan of Star Wars, that's to say, keep using that example, you know, today you're the same amount of a fan as I am. We're both fans of this thing because we both love this thing. Whether that fire is a new flame or as it's been burning for a bit, you love that thing. That it's all of ours. And so I love that energy that you have, where, yeah, like you've seen this the saga rather, in a whole different light than a lot of people, and you're able to kind of take the nostalgia out of it and actually just say, okay, so how do these games, understanding that the time that they were in, how do they rank up today, or to me now? It's super interesting. So I really love that take, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. I think it's like MGS3 has a lot of nostalgia, I think, and I bet I would have loved it on PS2 because it looks phenomenal for that console and everything. But yeah, no, it's definitely not a good Metal Gear. It's definitely not good. Speaking of FF7, still going through FF7 remake. I'm like 80% committed to a platinum run, right? So we're kind of chipping away at that.
Okay.
We're on hard mode. We're doing the thing. Me and Eric. So it's not Elmira, right? Is Elmira Eric's mom, or is that Cloud's mom? No, Cloud's mom starts with a C.
I think it's Eris.
I think it's Elmira.
Yeah.
I think it is Elmira. Yeah. Is Eric's mom? Well, Eric's mom, Elmira or not, I really forgot her name. Gave me the boot, told me to get out. Leave in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
So I just got to that point, and we're still chipping away at it. I didn't play too much this week, just like a little bit, but we're still doing that. Not much to report there. The game's phenomenal. Arcadegeddon as well. I'll talk briefly about this game. I did a full early access review on the channel. $20 early access by Ilphonic. Those that have made Friday the 13th and Predator Hunting Grounds as well. It's a cool game, man. It's a cool game. Have you played it?
No, I was actually I've heard Blessing talk a bit about it, and friend of the show Emma Watkins Jr. and they're liking it. And so maybe it's something that I need to dip my toes into. I know it's early access, but it is a paid for game. So my question to you, trophy list question mark? Is there a trophy list? Is there a platinum?
That's a great. I played it like all this week. I did not see a trophy.
Oh no!
But okay. I find it hard to believe that there's no. I'm thinking, damn, that's a good point.
Yeah, right.
I thought that honestly, you know what? Let me check on my PlayStation app.
Yeah, please.
What am I doing? Yeah. Let me check on that. But it's a multiplayer like co-op shooter. It's kind of okay. Okay, this is weird. A bunch of empty lines are showing up. It's a bad sign.
It's a very bad sign.
I don't think
there ain't nothing here.
Trophies right
so
now.
You have to play this for the love of the game, is what you're trying to tell me.
Yeah, man. There's no trophies there.
Trying to hunt trophies it's become stressful for me, and I don't know if it's worth it anymore. I'm just looking at things. I'm like, is this something I could plat? If I can't, I am out.
I half care about trophies.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you look at my profile, my trophy score is not impressive.
Right.
Right. Like it is really not. But over the past few years, like I've been getting platinums for games that like I specifically really enjoy my time with. Right.
That is my,
you know
that's my rule.
So,
yeah, if I really, but then like Kyle will get me in the mood for like, all right, he has like a jillion trophies, but half of them I believe are fake because they're the paid for trophies. He just loves the
little like 10-minute.
Yeah, to go to for 5 minutes. I can't do that.
Yeah.
For me, a trophy has to mean something. Unless the trophy was glitch, which is in Returnal, then I'll go get a cheap plat to fill that void. But like he'll get me in the mood, and then sometimes I'm just looking at games going, okay, a 10-hour plat, but this game's not that great. Am I really willing to, waste 10 hours of my life to get this plat? I think so.
Yeah. Dude, man, Returnal keeps calling me back.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good.
It keeps calling me back, man. I kind of want to get that platinum, but I know it's fucking horrible. Like I know it's a long journey.
I heard it's gotten a lot better. That the rooms spawn at a faster rate now, and sigils spawn at a faster rate. So you won't have to be like me that literally had to beat the game again, and then go searching for the last sigil again.
Yeah. I'm on like the sun fragments part. I think I got to get it in the 6th biome. I think the sun fragment in the 6th biome.
Yep, I could die in a fire.
Let me Let me give you a nice pitch about Arcadegeddon, right?
Please.
What it is, it's honestly, they don't say it's like a roguelike, but low key it kind of is kind of like a roguelike, right? You have multiple biomes. You're going through waves of enemies. At the end of each biome, you have like a mini game to do. So that could be like protect the computer, shoot these targets around the play space, stay in this, stay in this circle and kill enemies to disable something, right? Like some like little interactive thing you have to do while also, fending yourself away from different enemies that come in, different enemy types, like the ones that, charge right at you and blow up if they get too close. There's turrets, there's regular infantry people and different stuff like that, right? So think of like the fun wackiness nature of the weapons of like your average Ratchet and Clank, right? With the elemental effects of like Borderlands, right?
Okay.
And the like vibrant colors of like probably not the best game to cite, but like Destruction All Stars, right? Okay. How like punchy and just punchy and colorful that was. It's a third person type of perspective, so that's a little bit like a Fortnite type of deal. It kind of feels a little bit like Fortnite, but in
terms
in
of like shooting mechanics,
there's
no building or whatever. Okay.
Yeah, there's no like building whatever, but it's really cool, man. Okay. It's a really neat game. I say for $20, I think you can spend that $20 in way worse ways on the store. Fair. To be honest with you.
Fair.
But yeah, no, man. Like, I'm not sure how well this is gonna perform over the next few months. I'm not hearing a ton of buzz on it right now. You know what I'm saying? But I at least want to throw my 2 cents in and just give it a fair shake. And it's definitely early access. There's only 3 biomes right now.
Sure.
Like super limited in that vein. But and there's things I definitely don't like about the game. Like I think the tutorial is really bad. I think the way they deliver like you getting new gauntlet abilities. So you do them through these challenges where you talk to people in like the hub space when you load into the game, because you're in a arcade. You get challenges. You go into the arcade, get in the game, and you go and complete those challenges, which could be like get 50 kills while sliding, right? Burn 80 enemies or whatever, or different just stuff like that. But when you complete challenges in a game, you can't like automatically equip the new gauntlet ability. You can't equip the gauntlet ability that you just unlocked. Even though there's like in between like chill out spaces in between the areas that you're at where you can buy ammo, you can buy new guns, and you can surge swap, right? Where you can, you can swap your abilities. If you don't like the one that you have right now, you can swap it to another one that you've unlocked. You can't even access it there. You have to go all the way back, talk to the player that you talk to. No, talk to the NPC that you talk to get the challenges in the first place. It's a very like tedious type of thing, Like there's stuff like that I just don't like. But
yeah, it sounds a little convoluted on my end. So yeah,
definitely, definitely. But like overall, from a gameplay point of view, I think it's super fun, super chaotic, fast paced, a lot of fun.
Yeah,
a lot of fun.
I might have to check it out. Elphonic is a bit of a miss for me with their games. Predators didn't really reach me. Same with Friday the 13th, but I know that's beloved. So this one is definitely, I think a lot's on the line for this game. So I'm hoping this one hits. Yeah, I really am.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. But there were no console specific news for the Arachknight PS5 Watch, so we're going to skip over that this week, and we'll get Arachknight in next week, and we'll talk about that. But episode 23, first thing here I want to talk about is Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart tops the June 2021 NPD numbers. Not the craziest surprising news, right? Like, that's what I kind of anticipated, but, pretty cool to see that, not only did it top PS4 and PS5 sales, but it topped the whole June month for all games on all platforms. So love to see that. They say here that Rift Apart secured the quote. Oh, by the way, this is push card link below in the description to all these stories. Rift Apart secured the quote highest launch month dollar sales of any title in the franchise history, and more than doubled the last Ratchet & Clank game, which was in 2016 with the movie tie-in as well. And it's also even more impressive in that vein because if you recall, that game was $40 when it dropped. This is $70.
Yeah.
And it sold double.
People keep saying these $70 games are too expensive. Nobody's going to buy them. Apparently.
That's what I keep hearing too, man.
That's not true.
That's what I keep hearing too, man.
So here's the thing. Honest to goodness, I have a view on the $70 game thing. I get it. I don't want to pay any more money. If I could pay free dollars on this, you know what I mean? I would, right? Like I would love free. I would love the games to be 60. Is it greed? Absolutely. Corporations are greedy, and I get it. At the same exact time, the way I see it is we've been having $60 games for 10 plus years now. Inflation's a thing. It's happening. It has happened. and these corporations want to make sure those profit margins go up and they don't stagnate. So as much as I'm not the biggest fan of it, there is an understanding to it, and I don't think necessarily it's the worst thing in the world. It's a thing that's going to happen. And so for me, I'm just like, it's just 10 extra bucks. And I get it. As an American, for us, it's like 10 extra bucks. But I heard in like Australia, games like 120 a pop because of taxes and all that stuff. So I get it.
Brazil as well, I believe, too.
Yeah, Brazil's rough. So
yeah,
I get it. I come from a very privileged perspective as an American looking at this. So I'm not super bummed, but it looks like not a lot of people are deterred either from paying that 10 extra bucks. I feel like that is a thing constantly barked at on social media by folks that isn't actually reality, because when you take a look at those numbers don't lie. People are going to buy this game. And the one thing I want to ask you, Kev, is this month also, this is, I think, broke this morning, I don't know if you heard, the top selling console in terms of sales,
I did see,
is the Xbox Series S and X combined. With Switch in second and PlayStation in third. Is this a little cause for concern for you? Are you a little concernicus? Like, where are you at?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
I'm not that concerned, right? It is, first and foremost, not even like, I would like to believe that me and Mr. Badbit are not like the really crazy out there PlayStation fanboys that are rabid and do wild shit, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think that's us, right? Number one. Number two, it was kind of odd to see Xbox number one with that, because I think they were number one like recent. No, was it recent? It was like, I remember them being number one like briefly, like kind of somewhat recently, but they haven't.
India they were for a month, and like because we've been we've been living the high life here in PlayStation in terms of sales, and we've been told by social media that that's the important thing in the world. I'm not concerned either, man, because the way I for what I've heard and understood, and this isn't from like PlayStation people, this is from legit Xbox folks saying that after E3, Xbox restocked on Xbox Series X and S's, so they were holding on to some to give themselves that boon in June. Not to say that it's a conspiracy. That's what you want to do when you announce a whole new lineup of games. You want to make sure you have even more consoles than usual. So knowing that, it makes me go, okay, it is what it is, that,
and like, I mean, that is the smartest thing I've heard them. Like, that's incredibly smart, because like, at E3, 28 out of the 30 games I think were on Game Pass, right? That they announced everything. 27, so that makes perfect sense. How I believe Christian bought it at that time as well. You know what I'm saying? Like he bought one in June. That to me makes perfect sense. Totally. Nintendo is a complete anomaly, but not anomaly like in like a way, but like they're just gonna kill it. They're just gonna kill it no matter what they do.
Is that type of company that, let's be real, let's call a spade a spade. They can literally slap your parent, your loved one, whoever, right in front of you, and right afterwards, as you're like taken back in shock, they're just like, and we announce a new Switch. And the first thing out of your mouth will be, how much? Not what? Why do you slap my mother? It's so like, where do I pre-order it? That's Nintendo's philosophy at this point, because we give them the passive, like, well, they're gonna Nintendo. And it's like, well, why do we say that? Like, they treat us bad all the time. I don't know why.
It is what it is, man.
Yeah.
For me, it was like, yo, you can't even make like Mario 64 like widescreen. Like you can't even do that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But shout out to them. They're always gonna kill it. You know what I'm saying? But like bottom line, the PlayStation 5 is still doing insanely strong in terms of sales. We'll talk about that later on in the show at the question of the week. Like, even like, take into account the year that we had in 2020 and all that, they are still killing it. I have been satisfied with the games offering on PlayStation 5. I think the quality is still there. Miles Morales was great. Ratchet was great. Returnal was great. Demon's Souls, I've heard, was great. the only, I mean, real like slip I feel like that I've experienced on PS5 was like Destruction All Stars.
Yeah,
that wasn't the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah,
but yeah, I think this is not like a cause to be really concerned about, and we have plenty of, you know, things that we know upon the horizon. No pun intended. Yeah. Horizon,
God of War.
Yeah. Final Fantasy 16, etc. So
we're all eating and we're all doing good.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yes, sir. I want to bring up this because I really want your take on this. Right. I want to hear all your thoughts. Okay.
Okay.
The abandoned trailer app. This abandoned whole blue box conspiracy thing. You know what I'm saying? Listen, I'm not playing. I'm not saying this is. I'm not saying I'm gonna do it, but I have been thinking a lot about a part 3. I've done 2 parts about the abandoned conspiracy theory. I might do a 3rd one. You never know. But we did get some info from the Blue Box Game Studios developers. They tweeted that we'll be able to preload the what they're dubbing what are they calling it? Like this like real-time application trailer.
Here's what they said. I have it here, and beautiful. I am livid. Here's the first tweet on July 11th. We're excited to announce that the Abandoned Trailers app will be available to preload for free of charge for all PS5 users on July 29th, with the introduction available on August 10th, followed by the first trailer later in August. What? What? Just say your app's coming out later in August, or just don't say anything at all. And then the second tweet, 3 days later, we have changed the app name from Real-Time Trailers to Real-Time Experience, so the app will be released as Real-Time Experience. What can you expect? ? Multiple trailers with durations between 5 to 12 minutes, gameplay demonstrations, future live events, and then in an asterisk, when available. I'm tired of this.
Do you know what I think is going on here?
What is it?
You know what's going on here? So, in terms of like why it has such like an awkward release, I really think this has something to do with the supposed, we think is pretty legit, first party banger state of play. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that is allegedly held up by Call of Duty, allegedly.
And right? Final Fantasy.
Yeah. I think that's what's going down with like the staggered release. But the nature itself, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Look, I have not said that like, okay, I don't 100% think it's Kojima anymore, right? I'm not at that point yet.
It's not him.
Okay, so you're on definitely no. I'm gonna hold out a little bit of hope that, okay, well, even if, you know what? Okay, here's where I'm at, right?
Tell me.
Even if it's not Kojima, right? Which you know what? Right now, I can probably say there's a real chance that it's definitely not Kojima, right? There's a definite, real, tangible chance, right? I still think this whole thing, there is so much weirdness in this that I just don't even, like, there has to be something up with this game. There just has to be. Not every indie game gets a real-time experience app, and they get to preload it like nearly 2 weeks in advance. Like, what? Nobody gets that. The preload date for Ripped Apart was 7 days.
Yeah.
A fucking first-party game. But this one gets 10 days? Yeah. Like, I'm not saying that preload is like, the end-all be-all, but something is up with this game, bro. Something's up.
I'm telling you this.
What's up?
You take a look at the Twitter stuff. It like they're. All right, let's go down the crazy train. The banner for Twitter has changed to this weird thing. It's like super enhanced, zoomed in. Their logo has changed from a white background to black font to a black background with white font, right?
Okay.
The logo legit looks like the PlayStation logo that you see in first party games. That is way too on the nose. So we already know that something is up here. We have Hassan putting out really weird timed tweets in the middle of the night, even for where he's based. Makes zero at all, allegedly, makes zero at all case for anything.
Yep.
That said, this could be, all right, as I clap, this could be Kojima in a weird way, because we know that he does have a studio in Europe, and I believe maybe in the Netherlands as well. So we do know he has like a satellite studio. So okay, so maybe this guy is the director, is Kojima Productions, and Kojima is producing it. Maybe that's the case. We also know that Kojima wants to do film and stuff, so like this Real Times app, Kojima loves doing weird shit. I get it. What I definitely think this is, the thing that I'm leaning more on, is this, first off, Blue Box Studios, or Blue Box Game Studios. Ask, you're only one studio. I digress. This is not a real company. This is, I think, Bloober Team. I think this is Bloober Team's a satellite studio from them, because we know they have multiple teams. We know they've partnered with Konami. They've made an official partnership. So I think this is one of their satellite teams working on a Silent Hills game, and they're just kind of messing with us. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Hassan may be a real dude. Everybody's like, he's too fuckable to be a real man. You know, like to be a real game developer.
I have been hearing that.
Yeah, and
by
I'm
the
just
way,
like,
hey,
I get it. Strong jawline. I get it.
Handsome gentleman.
Yeah, handsome young. We're gonna call it the way we see it. You know,
absolutely. Absolutely.
That said, I'm not leaving my family for it. But that said, you know, I don't think this. There's too many weird things for this to be legit. And if it is legit, man, I feel bad for these dev teams.
Hell yeah, I feel bad.
And
I feel bad
because this guy, if this is the case, he just sucks. This guy just sucks if this is the case, because man, like, this is just a mobile app. Why? And here's the thing: why do you keep delaying it to sometime in August and now later in August? And I think that was the first canary in the coal mine, where I thought this next state of play, the one that got the Deathloop trailer, still thought was decent, was not the the end all be all. That said, I do think it's happening. I do think it's happening either early August to mid August. That's why he can't nail a defined date down on it. And yeah, we're gonna probably get that show, and this game's going to probably in it, and it's going to be Silent Hills, because that's the rumor. The smoke from the beginning has pointed to Sony and Kojima partnering on multiple projects. So I'm calling it right here for your audience, right here, right now. And like we say here on the trophy room, as long as you say it with gusto, as long as you say it with confidence, you're going to make it happen. So August is the true state of play with all the AAA stuff, right?
Yes, sir.
And if they don't do this, I will be greatly disappointed. I do need to make that note. We're going to see Hassan's game. It is not Blue Box. I doubt it's Kojima. I'm leaning on Bloober. They're going to show you Silent Hill. I think they're going to be even crazier. I think Blue Point is working on a Metal Gear game remake.
Yes, sir.
I think you're going to see that Final Fantasy 16. You're going to see your God of War. You're going to see the date for Horizon, which will be this year. You're going to see those things. It's going to make you believe. It's going to make you believe, because honestly, PlayStation cannot rest on their laurels. There you go. That's my word. They have to be present. I think they've already given way too much time for Microsoft to have a narrative form for the past couple of weeks. So if it's Call of Duty holding them up, and I know it's Final Fantasy holding them up, they come on. The clock's ticking. Let's do this. Let me see some things. You know?
I agree.
So there you go. That's my rabbit hole conspiracy.
One, I thought it was really funny when we started seeing people claim that the videos of Hassan talking was his 3D render. I was like, guys, okay, can we just not? That is as far as I can tell, a clear man on video.
Yeah.
That's
no CG.
No, that's number one. Number two, I did not anticipate you saying Bloober Team.
Oh, really?
It could be because, and really, I mean, like, I heard the Bloober Team stuff. In my mind, they're just so closely tied to Microsoft that, like, I just, you know, that's just what I kind of associate with, right? I never conjured the idea. Well, I mean, they're not owned by Microsoft, right?
Mm-hmm.
They could easily just make a PlayStation game. You know, they're in like a Blue Point type of, you know, like place in the industry, but they're not exclusive, but they're in spirit they kind of are. You know what I'm saying? And I also, so yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, like, honestly, I'm pretty much with you. Of course, I assume we're both gonna be watching that app with absolute intent. Just like, I just want to see what is going down. They have my attention. If this is just an indie studio, I don't know if this is gonna be the greatest thing for
still
them.
like, and here's the thing, I don't feel the most guilty because they still have hundreds of thousands, millions of people looking at it.
That's very true.
So it has to, even if 90% of those people don't show up, you still have thousands of people you never would have had. So
very true. Yeah. Very true. Last thing I'll say too is that I got, and I haven't talked about this too much, and this is the last point I want to make, right? I haven't talked about this too much. I did get a Discord message from an individual. And I'm going to be very vague here because I really don't want to get anybody in trouble, and I was told to not do or say certain things. Right?
Okay.
I was messaged about 3 weeks ago by
a shadowy figure.
Not shadowy at all, just a regular guy.
Or a person, or a girl, or in an overcoat, trench coat.
Gentleman t-shirt.
Okay, listen, I'm trying to hide their identity here. Glasses.
Perhaps some glasses. Okay. Perhaps some glasses. Yes, absolutely.
With a fake nose. Okay.
He tells me that he saw my video. He saw my conspiracy theory breakdown.
Oh boy.
And he grew up with Hessen.
Oh my goodness.
And knows him firsthand.
Thickened.
So second thing I do, I'm like, sir, can I please get you and Hessen on an interview, please? Like, come on now. Let's get about this. That request was denied by Hessen himself.
Okay.
Right. And and that's I think all I can say. Right. So I did get that, and he provided, not that I asked for it, but he gave me pretty tangible proof that yes, they were childhood friends. Yeah, like they were childhood friends. Like, that's really his homie from back in the day.
Okay.
And he's and that's essentially where it's at. So I kind of want to follow back up on that. I haven't talked to him in like 2 weeks or whatever, but that is another thing that I'm like, damn, okay, maybe this isn't Kojima. I don't know, but there was that
over his dang head.
Kind of crazy. Yeah. Speaking of Kojima, right?
Oh, we're still on.
I'm sure you saw this.
Yeah.
This one isn't too crazy, but I just found this kind of funny. So, Kojima, of course, coming out with Death Stranding, a director's cut. Very excited for that. Breakdown on the channel already. You can check out that. He's not a fan of calling it a director's cut. So he says here, quote, "A director's cut in a movie is an additional edit to a shortened version that was either released reluctantly because the director did not have the right to edit it, or because the running time had to be shortened. In the game, it is not what was cut, but what was additionally produced that was included. Director's plus? Question mark. So in my opinion, I don't like to call director's cut. Only Kojima can do this. Only he can, have a big first party re-release on a brand new console. They're trying to promote it, and completely go against the naming convention of said game.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to ask you, do you like the director's cut, naming moniker? Is it gonna be something that persists? What do you think?
Yeah, no, this thing's persisting. It's gonna persist for a very long time. I think. So, okay, here's what I think of the director's cut. Do I think it's Sony double dipping, or perhaps taking advantage of its fans? Absolutely, I do. Yes. Why? And you might say, Joe, how dare you say that? They've put so many development hours in this game. Joe, you're big,
Joe, how dare you?
Yeah, Well, because you take a look at other games, like a good example, Final Fantasy VII. If I'm not mistaken, as long as you purchase Final Fantasy VII, you get Intergrade, right?
Yes.
Intergrade has all these upgrades as well, and they charge you free $99 for it. Nothing, zip, nada, zilch. PlayStation is essentially saying if you bought the PlayStation 4 version, you want to upgrade, no matter what, we're getting your $9 out of you. We don't care. We don't care. Give me your money, you dumb. And essentially with Ghost of Tsushima, they killed the regular SKU to now make this SKU that is $60. It's essentially what Nintendo does every year with their dang Switch. This is the Nintendo maneuver. Remember, they can punch your mother and you say, how much for the next thing? Nintendo does this all the time. This is PlayStation slapping my mother, but gently, not too hard, not too aggressive, Jim, and saying, $9, little man, put that shit in my hand. And for this, I say I am just like one of these Nintendo drones out there. I love you, Nintendo. Here, I'll even look at. Here's my Switch. I love you. I joke.
Look at that beautiful drawing. Look at that.
I'm gonna pay for it, not because I believe it's worth $9.99. I genuinely feel like PlayStation could and should give you this upgrade for free. But I've put 70 plus hours into Ghost of Tsushima, just single player. And then they gave us the free patch, which was the multiplayer Legends. I played that, no microtransactions. It's a full experience. It's a great add-on to an already great game. I'm in. And then for the PlayStation 4 version, they give you the 60 FPS boost, right? And to the PlayStation 4 version, so I believe checkerboard 4K. So I'm giving them the $9.99. First off, I had to buy the game again because I have the disc-free version. So I'm gonna have to pay $70 for it. Yeah. Well,
we have the better PS5, by the way. We have the better one.
Yeah, it looks way better than the COVID bump one that they got. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's worth it to me. I'm gonna pay the $70. I'm gonna pay the 10 extra bucks because, to me, they've treated me well enough where it just like any game. If I play Fortnite and I've been enjoying it, I'm buying a skin. You know, I played Halo 5, a great example. I have it on Game Pass, so I'm not technically paying for it, but I'm paying for it. I go, I really like this game. I'm gonna buy an $8 pack of, in-game stuff. So to me, that's the equivalent here, and that's why I'm doing it. So that's my thought on director's cuts. When it comes to Kojima, he is the only guy that could get away with this. This is him pretty much telling his friends, no. PlayStation didn't intervene with me here. I'll just put more stuff in this game. That's what I'm doing. PlayStation didn't hurt my idea here. And I think this is kind of him and maybe translation getting in the way of saying, no, PlayStation treated me well. They treated me well. I'm not adding stuff because they intervened. I'm adding stuff because they'd like to, and they'd like to sell more of this game that didn't sell well to begin with. So to me, that's what Kojima is saying. And
it's a good point.
Is the naming convention not great? I disagree with that. I feel like, look, this is a Game of the Year edition thing. This is Game of the Year version.
Yeah.
Just named very, pedantic by PlayStation. So to me, it's just a branding scheme, and it's a way to differentiate themselves from other Game of the Year stuff, because PlayStation games are a step. And listen, this is where I get to be a fanboy. PlayStation stuff is just a step ahead of a lot of other things out there. So they get to be a little pedantic when they constantly make games that are the Game of the Year contenders or Game of the Years. Going back for Bloodborne, which it's been 1,941 days since the original launch of Bloodborne. I have that shit in my memory because that's how good the game is. Give me the director's cut of Bloodborne, the Miyazaki cut, 60 FPS. I don't even need 4K. That's all.
Side note: after Resistance, so we're done with MGS5.
Yeah,
we're gonna do Resistance 2 and 3 because I didn't finish out that. Bloodborne might be the next one.
God, I hope.
So I'm kind of holding out.
I'm
kind of holding out for a 60 FPS because that's really what I need. I just 30. I would rather not, but we'll see. Yeah. The director's cut stuff. At first, the naming convention, I was like, I'm not sure how I feel about it, but honestly, it's grown on me. It's a similar vein of like, hey, you know, Xbox buys studios. You know, PlayStation, we facilitate acquisitions. We acquire studios on this side. You know what I'm saying? That absolutely. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, like, I feel like from the comparison of PlayStation and Nintendo, right, in terms of this, it is very similar. I'm not gonna lie, right? It is very similar.
Yeah.
At least I feel like it's, if we want to shed a little bit of a better angle, right? I personally feel that Nintendo would not do any sort of upgrade process, as far as I'm aware. If they ever done that, they would make everyone just buy it again, right? At least if we're paying.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
look at every Wii U game that's come out.
They literally, yeah. Granted, different platforms, but hey, PS4, PS5,
fine.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, right? So I mean,
you got me heated, man.
I'm like, guys. It could have been a lot worse.
Sure.
Right? Sure. Like, hey, if I'm paying $30 for the Iki Island expansion next month, right? That's great.
Yeah.
$10 for Death Stranding, cool. You know, like, that's all good, right? I would have definitely with you. I feel like the upgrade should have been free, but the extra content I think should have been paid. I think that is totally reasonable and totally makes sense overall.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I think the upgrades should have been free, and at least, you know, hey, also, I mean, they are updating the PS4 versions of the game running on PS5, so I think that would be your answer, right? If you don't want to, you know, have a, you know, paid PS5 upgrades, right? You do have the PS4 game, which, like you said before, Ghost runs at the resolution of the PlayStation 4 Pro version, which is 1800p, and it's in 60 frames, right? So yeah, I mean, like, over Death Stranding is not upgraded though on PS4, so there is that. But overall,
game. It's a very beautiful. game.
Beautiful game. Oh my God, it's fantastic.
I am tempted. I don't think I'm gonna dip back into the Death Stranding. I really did like that game. That's my first Kojima game.
It was also my first Kojima game. Yeah.
Oh, look at us. So for me, I'm like, up. I've seen the PC port. It looks fucking dope. Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not gonna play it this year, I don't think, but
it's too much.
I'm gonna just get it just to have eventually, because it's a very long game. You're right. But yeah, I mean, I'm personally cool with the director's cut stuff, like, as a concept. You know, yeah, I would love for the PS5 to be free. Everyone wants free, right? That's duh. But it is what it is. But we got a triple thing here. Mom, look, I got a triple. That was that old Call of Duty clip? No? Okay. Well,
you just have a synapse in my brain fired off. Oh, those are the years.
Oh, shit. We have Tango Gameworks here with Ghostwire Tokyo, of course, one of the two latest Bethesda games that will be exclusive to PS5. Funny little predicament there. But they say here on Twitter, quote, "We've made the decision to delay the launch of Ghostwire Tokyo to early 2022. We want to get the game in your hands as soon as possible so you can experience the unforgettable version of a haunted Tokyo that we've been hard at work building. At the same time, we're also focused on protecting the health of everyone at Tango. Our new release window will give us the time to bring the world Ghostwire to life as we've always envisioned it. Thank you for being patient as we work to bring you an experience unlike anything else we've ever made. We can't wait to show you more in the coming months." This was supposed to be October this year.
Yeah.
And it remained like that for a very long time until today. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm not, like, I think conceptually, like, visually it looks interesting. I was not particularly wowed by the little gameplay that we saw. To be honest, I was not expecting first person, you know, not saying that like that's like the worst in the world, but I definitely need to see more on this game for sure.
Yeah.
But just to quickly also note as well, Riders Republic also got delayed, a smaller delay. This one moved from September 2nd to October 28th. So not the worst delay in the world, just a couple weeks. Crazy.
It is not that crazy. After Battlefield. I'm a little concerned about that one, but it is such a totally different game that I'm still excited for it. So Ubisoft, call me.
Yeah, I tend to be a fan of most Ubisoft games. There's a few I don't like, but like generally speaking, I do like their games. Have not ever spent a ton of time in a Steep-esque type of game right here we have going on, like the extreme sports genre, if you will. But it looks pretty interesting, bro. It looks fun, bro. It looks fun. So
yeah, it looks really fun. I'm digging everything about a game. And usually I'm just like, I'm not into those type of games, but this one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. I might have to pick it up.
Shit.
I might just have to. And then there was one more delay. What was it? I have.
It's Rainbow Six
Rainbow
Extraction. Early 2022.
That one got a fat delay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Ghostwire was the same thing. But
I think this one needed it because Extraction didn't blow my mind. Looking at that gameplay, I think it's looking at Halo, it's looking at Battlefield, Call of Duty, and they're just like, I think
you know what I think they saw?
In Far Cry. What's that? Let me see.
I think they saw Back 4 Blood.
Oh, that too.
And they were so like, you know what?
Yeah.
Like, you know what? I think we got to dip. I think we got to get out of here. Like, yeah. I think that
we need to get out of here.
Yeah. So, well, I'm not really interested in Rainbow Six Extraction.
Me neither. Sadly.
A little bit with Ghostwire, a little bit with Riders, definitely. So those all got delayed on PS5. Just letting y'all know about that. But I guess this also blends a little bit into the discussion of the director's cut stuff here. Last of Us 2 seemingly got a permanent discount on the PlayStation Store. So it is now appearing on the PlayStation Store for $40 now, without a sale being like attached to it or whatever. And the digital edition, the digital deluxe edition is $50 at $49.99. There's no like, date where this is going to change or whatever. And I think this is making way for that director's cut SKU. You know what I'm saying? I think it's going to happen. I think 100%. I'll say it right now. You said on Trophy Room, y'all say it with your chest with a little gravitas, right? That's Gusto. Okay. We're getting a Last of Us Part 2 director's cut.
Fact.
It is going to offer 4K because the original game does not run in 4K.
Right.
Yes, we have a 60 FPS upgrade. That's great. 60 FPS, 4K, great stuff. I am hesitant on the ray trace lighting because the Last of Us games are lit in such a way for indoors because it is the end of the world and there's no power. They have to light the indoor. They have to light insides in unrealistic ways for you to see indoors. Yeah, it's very unrealistic lighting inside. So I don't think we'll get ray tracing and stuff like that. I just think that it won't fit. It won't fit with The Last of Us' world, just of that alone. What I do think we will get is either one of these two things. Okay, one of these two things. I know they said that the Factions 2 was standalone. So it might not make it there. But maybe it is standalone and like if you get Director's Cut, you get that separate standalone client. Right?
Yeah.
I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
We've seen it before. Like you bought Watch Dogs, Legion, you got Watch Dogs 1, I think, recently. Like that's been there, right? But the pie in the sky thing I really want out of a director's cut.
Tell me.
Another story DLC. All right.
Oh, okay.
Here's what I want.
Tell me.
I've been dreaming about this since I beat Last of Us Part 2. I want this really bad. I want to hear your thoughts on it. Okay. Spoilers for Last of Us Part 2. I guess you haven't played it. Spoilers.
Right here. Of course. Then link in the description so you can get back on track if you haven't seen it.
Yes.
I'm sorry to give you a little extra work, Kev, but I've learned the hard way that even if you say the most minute of things, that people don't like it. I'm looking at you, Plague Tale. I think I'm saving people from a very heartbreaking thing. All I'm going to say is I feel like we need to normalize when we tell people or give warnings to in games when animals get hurt or die. That should just be a thing. And I think if I warn people of that, that's not a spoiler. Because I'm an animal lover.
I don't think it's one.
Not a vegan. I wish I could be. But look at me. I'd be lying if I told you I was. But
nah, you got that below that face, bro. You got a 12-pack,
dude. Right?
You know that's what I'm saying.
But go for it. You've been warned enough. You had time.
We've gotten Abby's perspective
of
day 1, 2, and 3, the convergence of the storyline, and then what happens after. Okay, we've gotten Abby's perspective, day 1, 2, and 3, the convergence point in the theater, which I love that it's in the theater. Oh,
yeah.
It's so Last of Us Part 2 is so fucking good.
I know it is.
And then whatever happens after, it's so fucking good.
Yeah.
There's one character that also went on that journey that we did not see. Give us the Tommy DLC. Give us that perspective. Let us be on the other side of the Abby sniper fight. Dude, it would be fucking fantastic, bro. Can you imagine, bro? Can you imagine Jesse finding you as well? Oh my god, bro. Tommy DLC perspective. It maybe, you know what? Like, it doesn't have to be the longest scene in the world. You know, just give us a few of the highlight moments that are on Tommy's journey. We get to see Tommy's grief of
something,
hearing that Joel died. We get to hear the tension, the conversation between Maria and Tommy. Maria not wanting Tommy to go, and then Tommy just dips.
Yeah.
Right. We get to see that conversation. We get to see the fallout. I wanted to end on the Maria and Tommy fight when they split up. There is so much there to see that would add so much content. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Give me the Tommy DLC.
Give me that. I want to see that shit. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Because like. Tommy is the person that Ellie sees she's becoming and dreads it. Like she dreads it. And Dina is the character that it's like, you could come to me at any time. Like she's the good angel, Tommy's the devil essentially on the other shoulder. And I want to see that perspective of full on grief. Go back. Yeah. Cause like if I was Tommy, if someone fucking killed my brother, I'd be like, all right, man, let's go. Let's lock and load.
Oh shit. My man got the Draco right there, on the set, in the studio. My man got that Nerf Draco. Let's go.
Exactly.
Yeah, viewers, it wasn't.
Look, I got the Halo pistol right here.
Yeah, viewers, it was not a real gun.
No.
I assure you. I am visually watching.
Mega Bloks, like this is, I think this is not Hasbro. This is Boomco. Boomco makes the Halo stuff. This thing.
It looks pretty powerful.
I think so. Let me see.
It's got some weight to it.
That's Spring's weak. It looks intimidating.
But also, like I think the last thing I'll say about this point, and like the last reason why I would love a Tommy DLC is like when Tommy is not like, I guess like essentially like yelling at Ellie to like, you're just gonna give up on this revenge thing with Joel, right? Like from my perspective, when I first played that, I saw that as like oh man, like this is very sad, like you know what I'm saying? And like I just want to see like the lead up to Tommy doing that at the farm, and like that's where I really want the game to end, right? Like I want to end on that note. We know what happens after that with The Last of Us 1. It's a DLC that is within the confines and the confines of The Last of Us Part 2. I don't want an Abby DLC. A lot of people talk about that. Oh yeah, let's see her in Santa Barbara with Lev. No.
We don't see it. We should
that
enough.
We can do in a sequel. Yeah, that like we can do somewhere else. But like, and of course, Tommy is a character from the first game.
Yeah,
we know little bits and pieces of him, but like he's a prominent character in this whole thing, and he's the last. The last person that was the closest to Joel besides Ellie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would kill for a Tommy DLC. I would love that.
That's all.
I would love that.
I didn't need it until you said it, Kev.
Yeah. I need that. I really hope that comes, but who knows? We'll see. Probably just gonna be upgrades and factions, but hey, I'll take that too. I love me some factions.
Same.
Big fan. Speaking of Last of Us here, second to last story here on the news block. We got some more castings for Bill and Frank. To be honest, when I read this on Twitter, I honestly thought it was fake, but apparently it's true. Okay. I really thought like this was like I didn't see it was reported by Deadline when I first read it on Twitter, right? So we have Jeffrey Pierce, of course, he voiced Tommy in the game. Funny we just brought him up.
Yeah.
He will make a return, but not as Joel's brother, as he's already been casted by I forgot the actor's name that's playing Joel. That's playing Tommy. But he's already been casted Tommy. But Jeffrey Pierce will be playing someone named Perry. Then there's Con O'Neill, who will take on the role of Bill, which I really love that Bill is going to be incorporated in this show. I feel like he has to be there. Such a memorable part in The Last of Us, for sure. And lastly, we have Murray Bartlett. He has been casted as Frank, Bill's partner in The Last of Us 1. So now we're going to see Frank, which he remains unseen in the original game.
Yeah.
We just see his letters and different stuff like that, and we, get Frank's story through Bill. So that's going to be a bit of a more important HBO, side that's going to be specific to the show. Yeah. How are you feeling about this, and just overall about The Last of Us HBO show? What are your thoughts on it?
Man, I'm in. Like, this is, I think everything's on the line here for PlayStation. This is their time to prove games can transcend this medium and be important in others. If there's any IP that can do that, it is The Last of Us. I am 100% in with the castings. So like when I saw Pedro, when I heard it on the trophy room, as a Hispanic boy, I got very emotional knowing that one of my favorite characters is going to be like me in some way, right? As Hispanics out there, we don't have that many role models to look forward to. Oh, sorry, excuse me. So it's awesome to see a very important character being a South American lad. So that's awesome. I'm digging all of this. Pedro Pascal's a brilliant actor. And if he can make a masked character like Mando personable, this is huge. Yeah. So, yeah, I definitely, I definitely have a lot of faith in this, for sure.
Yeah. The one the one reason why I'm super excited about this show is that I don't know how it is with your parents, right? But with my parents, I don't think they fully understand what I do on the side, like that, and like they don't understand like games today. I don't think they fully comprehend like where games have gone today, and like how much they have elevated in terms of like not only quality but like things that they address and deal with in the games themselves, right? Like my mom like still thinks I covered like Nintendo and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how she still views games. So, and there are so many stories that I've experienced. I'm like, damn, my dad would love this. My mom would love this. But there's no way I'm going to convince them to buy a console and dedicate, 15, 20 hours to like God of War. Even though I think my dad would love God of War. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I just want to see. So I already told my mom about this show. Not only is she a big fan of HBO, which I am too. Euphoria recently is amazing on HBO. Yep. Like, fantastic. I love HBO shows. They do quality stuff. So I'm like, Mom, Last of Us, HBO series, you're gonna watch it. I want to know how you feel about it, because I think that my mom would love Last of Us for sure, and like I think a lot of people would. It's just the barrier of just it being a game, it's just hard for them to experience that. So now they get to experience it here with this. I think it's gonna be cool. Yeah. It's gonna be awesome, and I just can't wait to see the moments that we get to see in this game. I mean, this show from the game and everything. Like we already saw the car scene, a little bit of that. Like, oh
yeah, that's gonna hurt me.
Fuck,
that's gonna break me. That's gonna break me something. I love the Twitter thing. I'm sorry. Oh god, I got a little cough coming. But I love the car image. It's like first shot of The Last of Us. It's the Twitter header of image that precedes unfortunate events. Like right above it. I'm like, yeah, oh boy.
There's so many things. Like I can't wait to see Pedro Pascal deal with the hotel. Like underground sections. Like, dude, good stuff. Can't wait. Last thing here, which I think this is pretty interesting, and I have some thoughts about this, but there's been some things that Netflix has been doing. So recently, Netflix hired an ex-EA executive, Mike Verdu, to lead its expansion in like some lucrative sector. They didn't say what it was initially, but I assume if they hire they like hire a video game exec, probably doing something in games, and we may have the whole thing from that. So it's rumored that they have been doing this like game service on Netflix within their application, and there were some data miners, specifically Steve Moser, that went into Netflix's app source code and found some cool things. One, they found this logo that says N game, and the N is the Netflix N, to be specific. They found unbranded DualSense controller artwork, they found Ghost of Tsushima key artwork, and they also found this like shark wave logo as well, right? And it's also worth noting as well that Sony is already in a multi-year US licensing agreement to put their Sony movies on Netflix.
Yeah.
So one of them is going to be Uncharted. Yeah. When that leaves theaters, that will come to Netflix. And I'm not sure if that takes into account the Spider-Man movies, but I think that's
sort of not really.
I forgot.
Spider-Man is like
it's wonky. Yeah.
Pretty much the first wave of movies, like there's a time that those movies will be on Netflix, and then when they leave, they go to Disney Plus when it comes to Spider-Man.
Gotcha. Okay. So, interesting. Yeah.
Theoretically, this does mean as well Spider-Man's still in the MCU. Or will remain in the MCU. God, let's fucking pray.
Yeah. If I think they know. I think Sony knows that, hey, if we rip out Spider-Man from the MCU, we're in trouble. Because that's a whole other thing.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, how are we feeling about this? The prospect of Netflix probably doing a gaming service.
Yeah.
I have some thoughts, but let me hear your take.
This is huge. Like, legitimately, this is big. So, okay. First, you got a couple images, right? You got an image of an N. You got an image of Ghost of Tsushima. Image of like a shark fin logo. That's like project logo probably. And then an image that has never been out. And I literally just tested it as you were speaking. An image that is brand new. I thought I've seen this, but of 2 DualSense controllers. Like in a Netflixy like art style. This like, is
someone made that. Someone spent time on that.
Yeah, someone spent time on this. This is real. Just by that image alone. What is this? That's the question. It's not if this thing happens, but what is this and what does this mean? Is this going to be rolled into PlayStation Plus? Is this PlayStation's answer to a Game Pass where it's like, hey, here's PlayStation Plus. We've upped it. I don't know. Whatever. Like PlayStation Now, whatever. I don't know. This is totally new because I'm just hearing it for the first time. So audience, you're with me on this journey. What is this? It's just like,
it's a good question.
It's a really big, this is really big. And it could be at the end of the day really small, but like, it can't be like Netflix acquires Sony because we see that this is a partnered situation, right? They hired someone to be their gaming head and they're going to be partnering with PlayStation. And we've also seen PlayStation and Sony be more in sync with each other and other companies within the organization. So this is interesting because anywhere you go about it, it's like, okay, so are these games that are going to be on the cloud? Is these games that come out a year after what comes out? Like it really is an enigma to me, man. I want to know what you're thinking. Maybe open my mind up more because this is all I see is a huge streaming service, the most popular one, making a deal with one of the most popular game companies out there, and then forming a some type of alliance. We also know that PlayStation has gone out and said, hey, we want to make movies out of these things. Ghost of Tsushima being one of those, but it's way too early for anything on that. It's still it's still an idea, not even on paper, or barely on paper. So I don't know, man. What are you thinking?
I just think this is super weird. Oh, by the way, to note, the shark fin logo is apparently a like image from like an iOS app, right? Yeah. So like that would like theoretically be like the application,
like the test app
logo, whatever.
Yeah.
I just think this is super weird, man. Like one, like in terms of Netflix getting into the gaming space, we've seen big heavy hitters try to get into the game space, right? The most recent big one I feel like is Stadia.
Yeah.
We have Amazon doing some stuff with Luna, you know what I'm saying? And we see that, in spite of Google literally having the biggest like server, like the most servers are Google servers, right? Like the biggest internet server base is Google, right? And they couldn't be successful in streaming and stuff like that. Granted, the business model and all that, but like what I guess I'm saying is that like I think it takes a lot to get into the gaming business. It's not something that like you can just do like half-ass or like you can do like half measure. Like you got to go full measure, and if you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. Granted, partnering with, I would consider one of, if not the biggest name in gaming right now, PlayStation, is a wise way to do a full measure, right? I think that's pretty wise. I question though what PlayStation gets out of this in terms of like, maybe there's a backdoor cut deal on that multi-million deal that they did. Maybe there's something in there. I think also about PlayStation Now, where it's like, if this is a streaming service, what happens to PlayStation Now, right? And it's not like they were ignoring PlayStation Now essentially, that we could say they were like before 2018, I'd say, right? In recent years, they've dropped the price. They've begun to put better quality games on the service. We just got this month Red Dead Redemption 2 being the first ever download only game on PlayStation Now, which I think is huge. They implemented 1080p streaming this year as well into PS Now. So they're doing this thing where like we have them giving more attention to PS Now, but also this could also be a separate thing that they're doing as well. Not sure how that really at all makes sense, in terms of like what they're doing here, but I just find it really intriguing. I just find it super interesting. I just don't know where PlayStation fits into all of this in terms of like, is it going to be their games? So what are we doing?
I mean, it has to be their games. And if that's the case, is like PlayStation Now, it's like powered by Netflix. But then what's that deal with PlayStation and Azure with or Microsoft with Azure?
Microsoft, exactly.
Like what happened there, right? So to me, there's all we have are images to base off this idea that could be something utterly game changing or something very minute. And I think for this Netflix service, it has to be a big deal for them, because you're right. This, like, you see Stadia trying to go it alone. Let's be honest, it's faltered. Amazon Luna is not hitting. They keep on sending me beta codes. I keep on ignoring that email. We're going to see. I think the one point I missed, and I'll make it here, is more media companies are going into gaming. And that's why when one of the rumors was like WB is up for grabs, it's not. Like, it was at one point, but now WB Discover, they see some value here. They definitely, we see companies like Amazon, like Google, dip their toes into gaming. We're seeing Disney do it in a very casual way as well. So I think if you have important IP, you want to get into gaming. If you are a service like a Netflix, you want to get into gaming to double dip on your services to keep people engaged, to keep people there, and possibly making them up their subscription. This is a really huge thing, and I think this could be a very huge thing. And I'm definitely thinking this is something that we're I don't know if we're ready for. Because again, I don't know how this works. It's like you can't really just put it in PlayStation Now, because I mean, Netflix is getting to the point where it's like, I think we pay like $16 for it a month, right? So times that by 12 and you're gonna get an outrageous number. You can't just put it in a PlayStation Now and have it subsidized by either company. That's not gonna happen, right? It can't be its own thing, because what does that mean for PlayStation at large? So it's interesting, man. It really is. This one's got a whole lot of question marks on it. I'd like to know what the audience thinks here, because it's
definitely for sure.
It's gonna be wild.
For sure. I got two last things. One,
go for it.
To be fair, right? Yeah, there is clearly Ghost of Tsushima on there, right? Like that is clearly a IP owned by Sony and PlayStation, Absolutely. So that is definitely something that can't be ignored. But the DualSense controllers, they don't have any of the sacred symbols on there, and there's no PlayStation logo on there as well.
Now, here's the thing, though.
Go ahead. Yeah,
those are still DualSense. Like,
100%.
It's way too defined, and even if it wasn't, like usually they have kooky little images, right, of like controllers that obviously not anything, or like they're ambiguous. If this was also like an Xbox thing, wouldn't we see a Xbox Series controller there, or a Nintendo thing? Like,
you're right. Yeah. I think, like what, like I was saying is that no, like 100% that is a DualSense.
Oh, sorry,
right?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that like legally, that's not a real DualSense. Does that make? I think that, right? Because like, you know how they cover like the Apple logo on the Mac in the show if they didn't like pay Apple or however that works and stuff like that.
Sure.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, like they could be using the template of the DualSense, but it's not.
Yeah, it's just
a DualSense.
Yeah,
it's just that, like legally, like patent wise, like you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I ain't a business lawyer, so that's a good
I'm definitely
point,
not either.
But I think it's too close. I think it's way too close for it to. Yeah.
That's why I said Ghost first, because like the controller thing I said negates it with the inclusion of a literal artwork from IP that PlayStation and Sony owns. You know, who knows what this comes into? I'm very eager to see what's up with it for sure.
Absolutely.
But we'll see that when the time comes. But on to the question of the week. It is July 16th. We're about 6-7 months out from PS5, right? November.
Yeah.
The December, January, February, March, April, May, 5, 6, June, July. So we're not 6 months. We're 8.
Yeah.
We're 8 months.
We're 8 months.
We're 8 months from 8 months from PS5. Here, I'm gonna change the doc on the flag. I'm saying 8 months. I'm saying it said that the whole time. You know, it said 8 months the whole time. It definitely. Yeah, absolutely. But we do a little PS5 report card. Okay. You know what I'm saying? We're the parents, right? We're at the parent teacher conference. Okay, we're gonna look over what PS5 has done so far. You know, and just see how it's going. We got some numbers here, of course, that I pulled and did some research and everything. Just some light stuff, none too crazy. But I guess I'll start with you. You know, at the top, right? How do you feel about PS5 right now at this current point? 8 months in, everything that's happened, everything that we've gotten. How are you feeling about your purchase of the PlayStation 5?
I think the product itself is great but flawed. I think there are a lot of things that are really great about this console. I'm loving that I don't have to wait for a dang game anymore. Everything's instant. I can't be on Twitter anymore. I gotta be on my A game. I love. Oh, let's bring her in here.
Yes, here. Hold up. I got mine.
Please, yeah.
I got my black steed.
There you go. There you go. Yes, I got the red and black right behind me.
Oh, I see him back there. Hell yeah.
These kids don't leave my side. This is the greatest controller ever made. And you could sit back and go, yeah, the Xbox is really good. Yeah, and it is. It's very nice. This is the most comfortable controller. I love the adaptive triggers. I love the haptic feedback. This controller is honestly perfect to me, and I'm in love with it. I tried to hold the DualShock 4.
Oh my god!
And I'm like,
I did that too.
And I'm like, I love this controller. This kind of feels like shit now. This feels like a toy.
It's appalling. Like, you know what? No. It's bad, right?
Yeah.
What was appalling was going back to the PS3 controller.
Oh,
that's
boy.
appalling.
That's a bad controller.
From the PS4 to PS3, I'd say that's a wider gap than the PS4 to
absolutely
PS5.
Absolutely.
But it's still bad. Yeah. Like, definitely for sure.
So I think on the hardware end, there's a lot to take in here. You know, everybody's like, it's only 10 teraflops, 10 teraskips. Who cares? the games look great. The games run amazing. Ratchet and Clank is just, it's stupid impressive. Yes, and you know, Demon Souls, oh my god, it's one of the most beautiful games I've ever seen. It's great on a hardware end, but there is problems with the hardware. No SSD expansion slot. I don't care how much it costs, Sony, just put it in the system already. Enough is enough. You told us in the summer, it's summertime. Come on, clock's ticking, let's do this. I'm already weekly taking in and out games. Hard drive is too goddamn small. Can't do it.
Yeah.
But on the hardware end, that's really the only problems I've had on my PlayStation 5. What do you think hardware wise about it?
Yeah, I do wish that we can do our SSD expansion for sure. To be honest, right, if I'm being completely just honest with the audience and everything, it hasn't been as big of an issue for me personally as I thought it was going to be.
Sure.
That could be just because you know, I'm a person that, hey, when I'm done with my time with the game, it gets off the hard drive.
Yeah.
It's done, right? So like that could totally just be just a matter of just maybe you're just playing more on your PS5. I've been playing Metal Gear Solid and like FF7, you know, and stuff like that, and like I've been just experiencing a lot of bigger games, right?
Yeah.
Recently, but I was definitely juggling like earlier this year. Definitely was juggling through that. So I'll say definitely that is still a problem for me personally. It hasn't been like the biggest deal in the world. What is the biggest deal are like some of like the software things, right? Yes. It is beyond me how we're 8 months in and I can't hold down the PlayStation button and put it to sleep. That shit. Granted, I've gotten used to it, but it's like,
no, I haven't.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? You know, it's why. Like, come on now.
And that's why, honestly, I'm sorry, I'm gonna take over this for a sec. Software end. So like the tower power, like the console's too big. I hate that. I really do. I'm tired of it. We get it. It's a big console. Both of them are bulbous in their own unique ways. Both of them are the prettiest consoles in the world. We're there. We get it. Some people say that the PlayStation looks like a genitalia. I would say, where's your head? Where's your mind at?
Oh my god,
yeah.
I've never thought about it like that. Holy shit.
Yeah, a lot of people are like, well, I see something, and I'm like, you need to go on Tinder, my friend. You need to get that.
Yeah, no, I have that would not be the first thing I do.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. People are perverts on the internet. Who would have known?
Air purifier. It looks like air purifier.
It looks like a router. It's nice. Whatever.
Oh yeah. A router too. Yeah.
But you know what? You rule 34 air purifier. I gotta get that. So for me, software wise, this has been a bit. This has been a step back. Other than the speed of the software getting in and out of apps, everything is just changed to be changed. Like I think the quick menu was a great idea, but it is faulty. Let me at least have the option. If I just press my PlayStation button, it just takes me home. Just give me the option. If I hold down this PlayStation button, my PlayStation goes to sleep. The quick menu is there for my Spotify, and that's it.
Dude, that's a really good point. Why isn't it hold down to pull up the quick menu like it was on PS4?
Exactly.
And to tap it, you go back home. Yeah.
It's the biggest complaint I have.
Totally right.
Yeah. The store is miscombobulated. It's fast, it's quick, but discovery is abysmal. There are some other little things like, disable HDCP. Please, why? Why did this continue from PS4 to PS5? I hate that. If you're a streamer, you know exactly where I'm coming from here, man. It's annoying. I hate it so very much. That's my biggest fault is with the software. Cross saves, dumb delivery, all that plagues this system. It feels convoluted at times. That's the biggest fault of PlayStation 5 right now is in the software. And that's killer for me, man. It does bum me out a bit. I still, though, at the same exact time, prefer it over the Xbox One.
Really?
Yeah, I'm still not a huge fan of the Xbox UI. I kind of think it's ugly. It's a lot.
I have no opinion. Yeah, I got no opinion on that. About like the Xbox stuff. I just don't own one. I have no idea. But yeah, like it's a matter of just like I have gotten used to it, right? But that doesn't make it okay. To be clear, right? Like like I can get used to something, but like it's not like something I'm excited to do, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean, for my personal console, right? I haven't had anything catastrophic happen to it yet. Knock on wood. Everything's going fine. It's been running silky smooth. You know what I'm saying? I have noticed a few weird things where, like when I turn on the console, sometimes this maybe happens like maybe like once every like 2 weeks or so. My D-pad on my controller just won't work.
Oh my god, yeah, I thought that was just me.
Do you have that too? Okay, thank God. Okay, let me ask you something else too.
Okay.
Since you're a digital PS5 owner, when you close a game or turn off the console, does your PS5 make like a weird like cracking, like not like a bad crack, but just like a weird like almost like
that, like a sound?
Yeah, like no, just like a little like thud, like crack type thing. Like I like it sounds like I remember one time when I was a little kid, I heard like something in the house structure, like a similar like crack, like something, right? And I told my dad, and my dad's like, no, that's just the house like settling in. It just does that.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing I have here. I think it's just the fan turning off.
Settling in.
I don't know.
That could be the fan.
Yeah.
It could be the fan.
It's probably just the fan.
I haven't gotten it, and honestly, like, here's a funny thing about me, dude. I never realized the PlayStation 4 was screaming when it was playing games. Like, you know that.
Oh, that shit is loud.
Yeah, because
loud as
I always play with headphones on. So I never know how things, and there was one time, Kev, I don't know what it was. Maybe I went to get a drink or something. I had the headphones off. I was like, what's making that noise?
Yeah.
No, I'm like, oh, it's my play. Oh, people weren't kidding around. So
no, it is loud. Yeah, the PS4 used to be loud. So yeah. I also play with headphones every time. But I used to hear that shit through the audio of the game. Like it was the worst one was God of War. That was the worst one.
Oh yeah,
100%. That one was loud.
That's what I think I realized. I was like, what the?
It was definitely God of War for everybody. Yeah, for sure. That was a lot. But yeah, like I'd say like from like my physical PS5 console, other than that weird like D-pad thing, you know, that's pretty much all I've experienced.
Yeah.
And I guess the weird cracks and everything. I'm with you on the SSD and the software stuff for sure. But in terms of at least like sales wise, you know, they have no problems with sales. I feel like, you know, they're definitely pumping them out. The only thing that I think I would assume that they wish was that we weren't in this weird chip shortage thing where they could sell the maximum that they could, because they're definitely not. And I think they could for sure. For sure. Yeah. They're outpacing the PS4 at this point by over 300,000 units. And take into account PS4 had none of these problems with it as well.
Yeah.
In terms of like production and chip shortages and all that. How you feel about the quality of games released so far?
This is the strongest point for PlayStation. I feel like as of right now, there is more of a reason for me to buy or own a PlayStation rather than Xbox for me.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So when I take a look at, and I know there are some games that are cross generation. I totally understand that, but Demon's Souls, oh my God, so good, beautiful, quick. It really shows the quickness, the speed of that SSD. You got Miles Morales, that just was so good. Insomniac, you guys are wizards. We don't deserve you. Sackboy, A Big Adventure was one where I didn't feel the PlayStation 5 being all too special, to be honest, but still a great game, still a great experience, and great soundtrack. My goodness. Returnal. We talk about this on the trophy room. It seems like at the very moment, our audience, if the Game of the Year awards were today, it's Returnal, and it's not even close. Returnal is a special game, man. It is a game that I always hate throwing it out there because it's cheap at this point, but it's of a Souls nature where it's like, no, we're presenting you this game and you're gonna play it, and this is the challenge that we are expecting from you, to overcome. So I love it about that game, man. It's all about perseverance, learning on the fly. One person in our Discord said something really, really cool about it. And I want to just pull it up here for a second because I think it's great. I think they said that though the game is so fast, every move you make feels deliberate. And so Returnal is something really special. Destruction All-Stars, oh boy, it's not good. Not great. Godfall, same. Godfall, not great. Rift Apart is stellar. stellar. Like Destruction All Stars legitimately had promise, but I think it forgot to put weapons in there. They forgot to make it twisted metal, and that's where that game falls apart. Godfall, straight up bad. I'm just gonna be honest.
It's coming to PS4, man. It's coming to PS4. Hopefully yeah, that was our big E3 announcement. Yes, the first PS5 game
in the game finally. Congrats, guys.
Oh man. Yeah,
but Rift Apart is fantastic. It is my game of the year right now. It is just if you want to see the power of a next gen console, Rift Apart does everything. Ray tracing, 60 FPS, the quick loads, like all that stuff. It's a showcase. It's a grand slam. And to see that 2 out of what is it, 6-7 games here are Insomniac is nuts.
Yeah, that too. I find myself, so when I beat Ratchet and Clank, I was like, oh yeah, this is my goatee. This was phenomenal, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm kind of with your audience, man. There's something about Returnal. Literally, I said like a week ago, I was like, listen, like Arachknight, like I don't know how to say this without sounding weird about it, but Returnal is calling me back, and I don't know quite why. Like, I think the most part is definitely the gameplay. I love that gameplay. I think it's super fun to play and everything. But like, I just find something about that game that like I'm not done with Returnal, you know. And like, I think there's a solid chance that Returnal might actually be my goatee over Rift Apart in terms of PlayStation. I don't know. Wow. There's something about Returnal that is really lasting with me and really is, something about that game. I'm totally with your audience on that for sure. Have not played Demon Souls. Miles, I fucking loved. 10 out of 10.
Amazing.
Shit was great.
Yeah.
Loved Miles Morales. Come on now. Sackboy have not played yet, but I do want to at some point. The Destruction All Stars, Godfall, I have not played, but I can't wait to play Godfall on PS Plus though at some point for sure.
Yeah.
That's a right PS Plus game. We got 2 new controllers in terms of hardware. You know what I'm saying? That's neat. I'm personally looking for the back button attachment that got released on the DualShock last year in January.
Let's go. Let's go.
I would love to, please. I will buy 3. I will buy fucking 3.
You're right. Same here, man.
I'll buy 3 just in case. I don't know. But I need the DualSense back button attachment. Give me that, please.
Yeah.
PSVR 2 was announced as well.
Yeah.
And we at least have seen the controllers. That's cool stuff. Haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, all that great stuff, But we have yet to see about that.
There's still time to abandon VR2 for a Vita 2.
Dude.
So much as I love VR,
that would be the day.
This is why I'm getting this Steam Deck,
That would be the day, man. Yeah. That'd be the day. If only people bought Vitas.
If
only people did,
Yeah.
You hate to see it.
You really do.
You hate to see it.
You really do.
How you feeling about the games to come? I think, right around the corner, we have Iki Island expansion.
Mm-hmm.
Can't wait to get into that. If you want Death Stranding stuff, that's coming. Deathloop, Final Fantasy 16, right? Horizon, which you said very boldly that you still think is coming out this year.
It's coming out this year.
I have a dude. I'm so scared.
It's coming out this year. Say it right now. Say it with me.
You know what?
Confidence.
Right. It's coming out this year. I'm so scared. I'm so scared.
It's gonna be great. It's coming out in November. Should be praised.
Please.
November.
Please.
It's coming out in November. You don't have to be scared. It's gonna be.
You know what?
It's gonna be good.
You're right. God of War definitely not though. Mm-mm. Never was. Excited for that though, and a ton of I just listed a ton. Ben Studio new IP. Sony Santa Monica, yes. Besides God of War, they are making a new IP as well. Next to that, Pixel Opus, Concrete Genie, fame, making new IP. London Studio new IP, probably for PSVR 2. Guerrilla Games multiplayer project. What's up with that? I think it's SOCOM, but we can handle that later. We have Haven, that's Jade Raymond Studio, Deviation Games, and there was another one. Do you remember the other one? I can't remember. Remember. Firewalk. Yeah, them. Thank you. Yeah, so we got a lot at play here. What's your thoughts?
All right, so I'm excited for games that we've seen. So I'm excited for Deathloop for sure, dude. They had me at the last state of play. They're like, "Hey, sluts." I'm like, "Bam, I'm in." That line alone, I'm like, "This is the energy you're bringing. I'm with it." So Deathloop, 110%. Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. I'm just a slave to that game, that series. I'll stand it for the rest of my life. Final Fantasy 16. Listen, I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan. 7 was a really good game to me, but I'm excited for it. So, I've never played the medieval fantasy stuff. I'm big into that type of high fantasy. I always dig that. So this might be the one that speaks to me. Ghost
we're
of
in opposite chairs.
Yeah. Oh, really? You're not down for it?
Yeah, I'm not. No, I mean, like, we're in opposite chairs of, like, I don't like high fantasy. I like more of, like, the steampunk, cyberpunk, hence FF7, FF15, right? But I'm looking very intently at 16.
Okay.
Just we're gonna see if I can get past that high fantasy stuff, and we'll see.
Okay. Don't worry. Pragmata is weird. It doesn't do it for me. Ghostwire doesn't do it for me at all. Kena Bridge of Spirits. Kyle played this. He was floored. Like he
played it.
He got his hands on it for the Tribeca film stuff, and
no way.
He was just like, this is something else.
Yeah.
Honestly,
and I forgot that's around the corner too. That's next month.
Yeah, this is a studio that I'm hoping. I'm hoping maybe PlayStation has their eye on it. Horizon Forbidden West is the reason why I have a PlayStation podcast. So Horizon 1 is my game of 2017. I love it so very much. It means so much to me. So Forbidden West is like coming full circle for me as a creator. I'm in. God of War Ragnarok. I've only seen the logo, so as much as I believe that God of War 2018 is a perfect game, it's a masterpiece. There's never been a game like it. I don't think there ever will be. That type of stuff. For me, that's how much God of War speaks to me. This is how excited I am. To tone of voice, that's where I'm at. If I only seen the logo and nothing, I gotta
respect it.
Yeah,
it's all good.
When it comes to all these, like Pixel Opus, Ben Studio, Santa Monica's new IP, London Studio new IP, make that a PSVR game. Insomniac, let's make a Resistance VR game. Haven Studio, like Deviation, Firewalk, none of those excite me because I don't know what those studios, like, they're just new and they have some legendary people behind them, but I don't know what to make of those yet. Right. What I will say though is, from what I have seen from PlayStation and the games that I've listed out here, I'm very excited for the future of PlayStation, and not to mention Gran Turismo 7 as well is going to be huge. So yeah, I think all what we've seen here, I'm excited for. Now we just need to see that second showcase that shows us the other stuff we should be excited for. They absolutely need to hit it in August. If they're really resting on their laurels here, I think that would be the first truly big mistake from PlayStation this generation. But they got a lot of great stuff lined up, and I definitely think Guerrilla Games is working on a SOCOM game, but that's neither here nor there.
Yep. I knew I forgot something. It was Gran Turismo 7. God,
I got you.
Thank you for filling in the gaps. Appreciate it. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think the future of those games are pretty bright for PlayStation. So that shouldn't be anything that I don't think. And I've really, this could be like a really quick thing I want to bring up. I don't want to spend too much time on it, but the prospect of PS4, PS5 games, like cross-gen, I mean, I'm just like, you know what? I think, like, I feel like I thought I cared, like, last year.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I've really evolved my thought on that. And it's just like, you know what? I actually don't really care. Number one, I bought the PS5 because I'm a console player first. I'm a PlayStation gamer, but I'm a console gamer if you want to boil it down to that. So if a PlayStation game comes to PC a few years later, that doesn't involve me. I played it already, right? And in terms of like them coming to PS4, it's like, well, I bought the PS5 because I care about a high quality console experience because I'm a console gamer.
Yeah.
And I'm going to buy the highest grade hardware in the console space to play said games. So at the end of the day, cool. Someone on PS4 is going to be able to play Horizon Forbidden West. You know what? Not hopefully, later this year.
Exactly.
Definitively. You said it.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
I'm still going to be able to I'm still experiencing the best version of that game on my PS5. So that's where I'm at with that.
Yeah.
So.
Likewise.
Yep.
I'm gonna eat crow on it because I was disappointed. Kyle never was. After seeing the games that I have seen run on PS4 to PS5 and seeing just PS5 exclusives, I'm not bummed out in the slightest.
Yeah, that and my co-host on the channel, on this podcast, Arachknight, he played Miles Morales on PS4 and then played it on PS5 when he got it, and he deemed the PS4 version like essentially unplayable. Maybe
really?
He's being hyperbolic, but like, you know, maybe like he's being hyperbolic, but like, and I mean, like he's very PC centric.
Okay.
First and foremost, so he's a little bit more sensitive to like, you know, certain things that we probably wouldn't pick up on.
Sure.
Right. So yeah, he was like, no, the PS5 version is leap and bounds better. Like leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
Like way of a better product. So you know, with that, it's like, okay, it is what it is. You know.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Services, I feel like PS Plus have been really good past few months. We've had recently like a lot of games debut on PS Plus. This August we're getting Hunter's Arena. Destruction All Stars debuted on PS Plus and different stuff like that. I believe the ultimate PS5 version of Control was also debuted on PS5. Plague Tale Innocence version was debuted on PS5 on Plus and everything. So doing real good on that. And PS Now as well. I already said that at the top of the show, but 1080p streaming, better games. Red Dead 2 being down only. How are you feeling about the services on
I'm right there with you, man. I think PlayStation Plus is fantastic. I have no problem paying them my $60 a year for it. They've been stellar. They've treated me really well this year. Really, some really great games that I've gotten play. Even some like AA ones like Bug Snacks or like Maneater were a ton of fun to play and try out. So for me, I'm right there with you, man. I think PlayStation Plus has been really great. Like Codename Tango also. Yeah, Plague Tale is honestly could have been my game of the year 2019 as well. PlayStation Now is getting better, but I think it still needs an overhaul. That's for sure.
Oh no, 100%. Yeah. No, they I was just saying, hey, you're doing some good moves that you know are here, and I just want to just give you that fairness. But no, they definitely got some more work to do. Yeah. And I mean, also one thing that I feel rarely gets talked about, but the PlayStation Plus game collection.
So good. Okay, so
that shit is insane.
A listener of the show, Jordan, this is his first PlayStation ever. Never owned any other one. He's going through the PlayStation Plus catalog like it's going out of style. Like he's cleared half of it. I'm not even messing around. He's already cleared half of it. He's only owned the console for like a month or two, and he's just like, "Whoa, God of War is astounding." He messaged me like,
yes, sir.
Like, I know, dude.
Yes, sir.
You've been missing out, man. So yeah, fantastic.
No, it's a great inclusion. I also question and wonder the future of that. Is it going to be a rotating library? Are they going to cycle out games and put in new ones? Or is it just a stagnant thing that will just remain? I wonder what they're going to do with that specifically. But I played Final Fantasy 15 off of that and had a great time. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was the one thing. And yeah, like, if you were entrenched in the PS4 era, you probably have a large portion of these games.
If you haven't, there's some. Yeah, this is for the babies.
It's fire.
Yeah,
absolutely. Last thing I want to bring up here is, of course, the first party changes. We got Japan Studio being essentially disbanded, but dead, but more turned into Team Asobi, right? Kind of. They just dropped the brand. I know there were some.
That makes me feel not nice.
Yeah, like but like it was. There were people that lost their job, yes, but like it wasn't like a traditional like, oh, they're gone.
It's pretty much they just pruned a lot of Japan Studio, and they just they TVA'd them, and now it's Team Asobi. I think they lost a lot of talent here, and I think as much as it hurts, a lot of it was necessary. But I feel like you're going to lose a lot of charm and uniqueness to the brand. Like Hot Shots Golf is now on like iOS by a different name, and it's doing gangbusters. Like you could have given them another chance here. But yeah, Team Asobi is fantastic. That one game we forgot to mention is Astro's Playroom, which is astounding. So yeah, like this like dope, you know.
Yep. I'm definitely excited for more Astro. I want to say Astro Bot. So, oh wait, no, it's Astro. I always want to say Astro Boy. Do you remember Astro Boy? I always want to say Astro Boy.
Yeah, I know the idea of them. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Housemarque got acquired. Of course, I'd say that's a very positive thing. Let's bring him in. I love Returnal. I loved Resogun. PS4 first PS Plus game. Fan of them. Love it. Nixus as well, acquired to facilitate support. That's interesting. I think that's going to be where, they saw, the PC port of Horizon not be the best out the gate, right? So I think that was one of the reasons why they have this, where it's like, hey, if we're going to do it, let's do it right. Keep it high quality. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the main reason why they bought Nixus, but we'll see. Hey, they are a very talented studio.
Yeah.
Just supporting and everything. So
I think their mission is to bring the slate to PC, and then from that point on, help PlayStation just bring their games to PC. I think in the next 5 to 10 years, you're going to see PlayStation games be day and date on PS5 and PC. That day's coming.
I hear you.
Get bored.
And then the last thing is Bluepoint, in quotes, essentially being acquired.
Yeah.
It's weird. What's your take on that?
So I'll say this. First off, Housemarque being acquired, fantastic. Apparently they were approached by multiple suitors. And so for them to say, pretty much walk over to PlayStation going, hey man, we've been having this partnership. What can you do for us? And essentially getting acquired. It's awesome because they're going to make some killer games on the PlayStation brand. I think that's awesome. Bluepoint, essentially being acquired. Very interesting. I think that deal's still I think it's happening. At this point, you don't make that image if it ain't, and if you're not sure. This is really awesome. I think Housemarque and Bluepoint are awesome. We already view them as first party to us, right? As a hardcore PlayStation fans, you know who they are. These are teams that have essentially made PlayStation games for a decade plus now. Them coming home really just solidifies the family of PlayStation. And I think we're going to see Bluepoint being acquired when they announce their Metal Gear Solid game, because I'm saying with confidence, I'm saying with gusto, it's happening.
I can't fucking wait. Can you imagine Shadow Moses? Oh my god.
Exactly. I'm telling you.
It's going to be so good.
I saw my brother enter it. I know what you're talking about. So
good.
Yeah, and I think there's one or two more. A rumor is System Arc Works, right?
Arc
System Works.
Really?
Sorry, yeah.
Oh, I actually never heard of that.
Yeah.
I mean, that would make sense. Oh, one thing I forgot to know here. They bought Evo.
Yeah.
The fighting game tournament. That would make sense. Buy a fighting game studio, right? Not. I mean, why not? Could they be buying NetherRealm?
Probably not.
Fighting game studios?
No, probably not.
I mean, that was just from those rumors that them and TT Games might be out the door, which I don't believe. I think the BB would keep them. You would not sell, especially NetherRealm. Don't.
Especially
that's Mortal Kombat.
Especially
it's Mortal Kombat. Don't. Yeah, stop. Don't.
And apparently the Mortal Kombat movie did good for them. So yeah, they're keeping that around. I mean, TT probably, maybe, but no, I think whatever acquisitions are next for PlayStation are ones that are going to be services focused, because they see their portfolio is a lot of action or open world games. They want to do other stuff. So getting Arc System Works in there, having Insomniac maybe resurrect a few things, having some IP resurrected by others in here. I think you're gonna see some things that may surprise you in the next couple of months. I feel.
I'm excited. Last thing I'll ask
Xbox related, by the way. Like nothing like as big as. Yeah. Like they're
leather grade for the PS5 right now. This will be the last thing we do. PS5 report card. What do we got going?
I'm going to give it. I don't want to be like it's an A+++. As much as we're PlayStation centric, I want to be truthful, honest, open with y'all. I think it's a solid B+. I think there are some. B+. I think there are some really good. Like the games are stellar. I think it's A++ there. I think it's the system UI that is flawed, and I think in terms of hardware, not having that expansion storage really at this point is really bumming me out. Even though I feel like both of them gypped you out on storage, at least Microsoft's giving you an option. It's an expensive one, but it's an option. I feel like here, the option should have been there a while ago. So I give them until the end of August to also tell me an update to that. But yeah, I feel B+ all around. It's a great, super great console.
I'm gonna say B+. I have really loved the PS5. Right. Obviously, we're both biased. You gotta take that with a grain of salt, of course, whatever you want to say. But I have really been enjoying the PS5. I've had some great times with it already. From the first party PS5 games to just games that I've just played on my PS5 that were from PS4 that I wasn't able to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just I'm super positive on the PS5 overall. Yeah, there are definitely holdups. I think the nature of saves is a very odd thing that. It's cumbersome. It's not like the end of the world. It's a very like quote unquote like first world problem.
Yeah.
But it's still something that is when we're talking about the gaming space, it's not as elegant as smart delivery. And smart delivery was something that I talked shit about. I thought it wasn't that big of a deal. I was like, bro. I'm like, bro, like this isn't revolutionary, and lo and behold, totally wrong. This is what happens when you don't have something like that.
Yeah.
We have this where you have to have the PS4 version installed, you gotta boot it up to the cloud, and then you gotta, go onto the PS5 version, pull it down. Like there's it's
dude,
again
we were so
not
confused.
insane.
Like, what is it? What do you mean this, that, the other?
Yeah.
And there was a canary in the coal mine with Yakuza, and now we see it and we're like, come on, are you kidding me?
I'll be first to say, no, I was completely wrong. Completely wrong about
that alone drops that letter grade. It's just no excuses.
But. Yeah, that SSD I'm with you on, but I think the quality of the games have been super high.
Stellar.
The future of the games on PlayStation look to be very, very, very telling. We have a lot working on the PS5 right now. Mm-hmm. The smart acquisitions of Housemarque and hopefully Bluepoint as well. Those are super smart ones that everyone wants to see happen. It's what you want to see definitely makes sense. And yeah, I think they're in a very, very, very good point. I do want to do like a report card for the year. Maybe Absolutely. Like every 6-8 months I'll do a like episode like this, just talk about everything. And I mean the halfway point, I think PS5. The best launch lineup, right?
Hands down, dude.
Hands down.
Library is fantastic. Library is fantastic. It's the software that's dragging it down a bit, but I have faith. I have faith in Jimbo.
Indeed.
He says time to prove it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Indeed. My boy.
Yeah.
Where can people find you, Joe? Where can people find you?
First off, thank you so much for having me. I had a blast here. Dude, we killed a lot of time. I did not notice.
Yeah.
I'm on here. My apologies. I've held you off. I held you up this whole day.
Totally. I'm not even doing slander. Okay. No rush, really.
Okay.
I'm gonna be late for work, but you know what? Fuck it. It's all good.
Oh my God. No, I'm an awful person.
That's not bien, bro. Let's go. Keep it going. I mean, really not. I mean,
you're fired.
I literally have to leave in like 3 minutes. So we're good.
Then you know what? I'm going to do this super fast. Thank you again for having me. My name's Joe, a.k.a. Mr. Badbit. I host a PlayStation podcast called The Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast. You can find the PlayStation show over on YouTube by the same name. You can find The Trophy Room wherever you find your podcast services of choice. It's a podcast where me and my best friend Kyle talk about the latest and greatest in all things PlayStation each and every Thursday. Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, wherever you find your podcast service of choice, you can find the show there. You can find me over at Mr. Badbit and the show at PS Trophy Room. And yeah, man, thank you so much for having me. I'm sorry I got you so late.
No, it is totally not your fault. I made it very clear. I was saying that like in like a joking way.
I'm a real
like,
piece of shit. I'm a real piece of
no, like I'm not trying to say. I swear to God. And hey, I mean, I was on Trophy Room.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
Thank you, man.
I love it. I had a great time with it. And I always like how like I feel like me and you have a good
rapport, right?
Back and forth.
I was thinking the same thing.
You know what I'm saying? We're like, you know what I'm saying? You know,
we need to do this.
I owe you at least a few drinks at this point. At least, you know what I'm saying?
Likewise.
At least a few drinks. You know what I'm saying?
Next time I'm in Arizona, let's do it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's probably not right now. Actually, today it's 97. It's not that bad today.
Oh god, it's 89 and I feel like dying.
Yeah, because you have humidity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arizona there, it's like dry. It's like, well, it's still hot.
Just dry heat.
Yeah.
Literally feels like an oven, you know, when you like open your oven, that's what it feels like when you open the door. It just feels like an oven.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Of course, this has been Save Slot Podcast, episode 24, the weekly news show about any and all things PS5, PlayStation games, and PlayStation itself. Catch the show here on youtube.com as PlayStation Source, as well as podcast services like Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, etc. via that anchor link down below in the description. Like the video, rate the podcast, helps us grow. Don't forget, below you can also let us know what you like or dislike about the show, and connect with us further on Twitter and Discord in the description. Feeling generous, become a member of the channel. $1 Prince tier like Tabiwa Musa and Gameplay Sir, and our $5 King tier members just like Caleb Kaiser, Arachknight, Psycho Sean, City of Gaming, and the homie Owen as well. Stream series next week, we will be going back to Resistance, Insomniac's, FPS story game. I liked the first one. I really did. Right. I thought it was cool. It held up for a PS3 launch game. I was like, damn, this is a real quality game. We'll see how the rest of it all unfolds.
Yeah.
And maybe Bloodborne's next.
Make it happen. 1,941 days as of recording.
Maybe I'll finally do it. But did I tell you the outro? I didn't tell you the outro. Okay, so how we do the outro is that I say, thank you all for watching, and as always, greatness awaits. But we both say greatness awaits at the same time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we can,
I'll try my best.
I'll do an easy tee up. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you all for watching, and as always,
greatness awaits.
Greatness awaits. Nailed it.
Close enough.
Nailed it.